from Singapore to Malaysia, right? Immediately they will organize this event. And the first stop I chose to be coming to Malaysia to speak before Singapore. You know why? Because I know that we have a lot of family members over here, right? Yes or no? I truly treat you like family members because I haven't gone home yet. I touched down on Friday night. So yesterday I was in a hotel preparing for my speech for this afternoon, right? In fact, immediately today, I meet all of our ST family members over here. I haven't gone back to my hometown to see my father yet. So please do not tell my family members that I'm here. They will kill me, right? Because they think that I put higher priorities on you rather than them, right? That shouldn't be the case. But anyway, right, I'm really be very excited to be back on stage here in Kuala Lumpur. We have just announced announced this Millionaire Summit, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, about 1 week ago, right? Less than a day, we sold out the event. For those of the people who are actually attending in the overflowing rooms, if there are any, right, any of them, right, can we give them one round of applause because they sacrificed their seats, right, to be at another floor, another room, right? In fact, I'm really very excited to be back in Malaysia, right? Almost like 2.5 years, I never come back. I've seen so many familiar faces, right? Wanted to hug, don't dare to hug. This is a very, very, what they call it, sensitive transition period whereby sometimes you do not know whether to wear mask or not to wear mask. So before I was coming on the stage, I was just asking, Andy, our COE from Kuala Lumpur, I was asking, should I be wearing mask to speak or without mask? So before I actually started, we have a rehearsal early on, right? So I try on the mask, right? At the same time, I put off my mask. So I try to do the version. I find that it's still better that without mask, right? Because without mask, you can hear me louder, right? And you can see me in the real person. Because otherwise, if I like that, you only see my eyes. You don't know how good looking I am. Just joking, lah. Okay. Anyway, right. Really very excited to be back in Malaysia, right? Especially after all this COVID pandemic. It's really very exciting, right? But I think first of all, before I start, right, I just want to congratulate every one of us. Why do I want to congratulate every one of you? Because we are still alive. Right? I do not know what had happened to you the last 2 years during the COVID, right? Some people probably that they have depression, right? Some of our loved ones actually left us. But I think we are very lucky to be still able to be in this room, right? Physically very healthy. And for those of you who are involved in the new skin business for the last 2 years, right? I know that many of you, your business are not affected at all, right? So, and some of you are doing so well over the last 2 years. So really want to extend my congratulations to all of you, right? To be able to be alive, including myself. Okay. Thank you. More applause for yourself. I think we want to do a conclusion, right? For this pandemic, it seems that the market is opening up. A lot of countries are opening up, right? So it's good that we do a quick, right, conclusion of what we learned from this COVID-19. I think for most of us, I've seen so many young people over here, right? Maybe you haven't experienced SARS outbreak, the last pandemic, right? So that was almost like 20 years ago, right? Because many of you, I see that it's like 18 or 19 years old. Very young, so you haven't experienced that. But even though you have experienced a SARS outbreak way back in 2003, you were still very young. So this is probably the first time we experienced this thing. So I think that in any bad experience, right, that we've gone through, we hope to learn some lesson. So in any case, you realize that hope it don't happen again. So at least you realize that we will learn something from it, right? Either we can prevent it, right? Or, we can pick up some of the wisdom from every of the event. I feel that for myself, right, what is COVID-19? What do I learn? What lesson do I learn from the COVID-19? Right. First, I think four key things that I learned. Right. The first thing, I think the importance of health. How many of you agree that health is very important? After this COVID, then we realize that, right, health is so bloody important. Because for most of the time, right, we do not behave, we don't think that health is important. When we talk about making money, can make a lot of money. Many of us are very excited, right? We want to make a lot of money. But sometimes a lot of things that we do to make money is actually trade-off in terms of our bad health, right? But I think for this COVID-19 wake everybody's up, right? We know that actually health is so important, right? The second thing is about importance of low-risk business, right? Especially for those of you involved in a high-risk business model, right? Over the last 2 years, with heavy investment in your business, I think a lot of business has been affected badly. So you could be building a huge wealth and fortune, right, for 20, 30 years, or building a very successful business, but because of one COVID outbreak, and the business got killed, right? Literally go back to zero. And some of people, you realize that they even have debts. So you realize that from this COVID, right, in any business, opportunity sounds to be very good. I think most important thing is that it has to be low risk, right? Just to prevent it if any event that happen again in the future. The third thing is that the importance of passive income, right? Some people are still, even though we are locked at home, right? But it doesn't really affect our quality of life, except that you cannot travel. Why? Because we have the ability we have money, right? We have passive income, right? We have money cash flow, right? That you realize that, we are not so much of worried. For those people that do not have passive income, they lose their job, right? Or they cannot function their roles or responsibility for whatever profession, their income are very much affected. So we begin to realize, right, because of this crisis, we realize that, making active income is so risky, right? We really need to build something that is building up a passive income. Should any emergency event happen in the future, we are protected, right? The last one, I think that we also take for granted, which is, happiness, right? That especially the people around you, we take it for granted, your loved ones, right? We thought that they will always be around, right? And through this COVID, sometimes you realize that even though that staying opposite, you also cannot visit them, right? Your family members. So, from this, realize that these are the 4 key points that I learned from this COVID crisis. I do not know about you, right? Does it sound similar to you? Right? I think that this is the wisdom that I pick up, so that in future, if such event happen again, right, I do not want to become a victim, because nobody wants to become a victim of any unforeseen circumstances. We want to become I wouldn't say become a winner. At least we realize that we are not affected, right? Well, I think today I want to touch a little bit on my story on my front part. I know many of you came this afternoon is to hear about the latest opportunity I'm going to introduce in a later part. But I think, right, before I touch on that Empower Me opportunity platform, I want to share a little bit about my story, because I find that, right, no matter how great the opportunity, if you're not mentally prepared, you will not grab the opportunity, right? I have grabbed many opportunities in the New Skin platform over the last 20 years. But honestly, if you ask me, right, is it because just an opportunity itself? Or it's because that, I know how to identify opportunity, at the same time, I'm mentally prepared, right? So I think this is something that I just want to share with you, right? Yeah, that's way back, that's a long time ago, right? My dad, right, when I was young, the younger me, I was born in Malaysia, right? I was born in Bangladesh. For those of you who stay in Perak, anyone came from Perak? Perak, not Perak. Perak, right? Perak stands for silver, is it right? Am I right? I think my Malay still boleh tahan, right? So for those of you who came from Perak, probably you're familiar with Bangladesh, right? Bangladesh used to be a fishing village, but I think now it's becoming a tourist attraction, right? A lot of my friends travel there. Tell me, they say that I tell them that I came from there. They say, wow, beautiful. No, a lot of transformation. Well, I came from there. I was born there. And of course, subsequently, I was, because of to further my study, I went to Singapore, right? To further my study. After I graduated from school, graduated from National University of Singapore, right? I did not go into employment. So I think this is quite a difference, right? Compared to a lot of normal people. For most people, you realize that if you are a graduate or you're undergraduate today, or you have children that are undergraduate right now studying, right? We hope that you realize that after they graduate, and most of us, our choice will be going to find a job, employment, right? I think that's a normal path. I think I choose a very abnormal path right at the start, right? Because I don't believe in employment. You ask me why? I do not know. Right, but I think probably I was influenced by a lot of Chinese words, right? There's a Chinese saying that 工字不出头, 出头就是入土为安。You see all the people that cannot understand Chinese one all blur already, right? To conclude, give a summary, right? That means that you cannot become employee, right? So that is my thinking in the right at the start. Even though that I pursue degree, right? Just get a degree because everybody has got degree. That's all. Just like a lot of ladies, right? Everybody got a bag. You want a bag. That's all, right? Not because I need a degree, right, to make a living. So straight after I graduated from school, I didn't choose a normal path, which I'm looking for a job, right? Instead of people reject me, I reject other people. I don't know how you feel. Huh? For those of you who are building this business together with us, some of you will think that, wow, I need to take a lot of rejections, a lot of objections. But not true. How many times do you apply for your job application form, you submitted, you don't even get an interview? Aren't you fear of rejection? You still continue to apply for the job, right? Then finally you go for interview, right? Then you go for interview, you didn't get selected. You also got rejected, right? So I was like most of you, I don't want to be rejected. That's why I never apply for a job. So I chose insurance, right? Because the insurance, probably the barriers of entry is very low. So I need to apply. I think nobody will just reject me if I pass the test, of course. But in the past, you realize the test is very easy. But now in Singapore, to qualify a financial planner, wow. Sometimes, I have friends at the university graduate, they also cannot pass. Take 3-4 times, right? They cannot pass. So I chose this path as my entrepreneurship journey, right? First platform, insurance, about 5 years I was there. Why? I think the main reason is because no risk. No risk, zero risk, right? I want to build my own business, entrepreneurship, right? But I do not want to bear any risk. So my manager, my boss told me that this is a business, you realize that it doesn't require any capital to start with. Yeah? Right? Then after which he told me that, in this business, right, the income, right, there's no limit. But he forgot to tell me that time is limited. Right? Later, I'm going to share with you a little bit on this part, why I make a move. I was there for about 5 years, right? I saw some limitation in terms of the platform, not because of the product itself, right? Just the platform itself. I realized that being a Malaysian, staying in Singapore, right, building my insurance career in Singapore, but I cannot build my insurance career in Malaysia concurrently. So literally you realize that being a financial planner in Singapore, right, I'm not able to build a regional business or global business. I only build my business in Singapore. And I do not know in the future, should one day, right, 10 or 20 years later, should I retire and come back to Malaysia, then I'm going to give up my career in Singapore, right, and back to zero to come back to Malaysia. I think that for those of you are Malaysians that stay in Singapore, you probably get the same feeling, right? Some of you probably you work in Singapore for a couple of years of good income, and one day you realize you want to come back to Malaysia, you got to start all over again. So I began to think something for long term because 5 years is long enough to learn a lot about the trade. But I begin to feel the limitation of that I cannot expand outwards. There's a limitation in terms of how I can scale the business beyond Singapore, right? And of course, I cannot move my business right anywhere. So that's how I started to think, and I also realized that for this career, for insurance career, including for a lot of career outside, right? In most of the time, we realize that the career itself cannot outlive us, right? If you don't understand what I mean, you just try to register this first statement I say, right? Most of the career cannot outlive us. Okay, later I'm going to explain the details. What does it mean? So lucky I was enough. There was a point of time I was 27 years old. I was at the crossroad, right? I don't know what to do. I think like most people, right? You probably read some books, right? We want to become successful. So that period of time, I get exposed to this famous author, right? Robert Kiyosaki. I guess that many of you read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? Subsequently, he came out with a lot of books, Business School for Entrepreneurs, Cash Flow Quadrants. So I was inspired by what the 4 quadrants that he mentioned, the cash flow quadrant, right? Being employment, employee, self-employed. So he specifically mentioned about people who are professionals, right? Many of like insurance agent, real estate agent, or even like dentists, doctors on their own practice, they were actually self-employed. So they are very much depending on own ability and the time and efforts to make money. So one day you realize that if they cannot function as per normal, their income will stop. So I don't like the kind of feeling, right? So I just, like any books that I read, anything that happened to me, I'll try to reflect how does it apply to my life. So I came, right? I started to think about my future, right? At my 27, 28 years old, where will be my future for the next 10 and 20 years? Including what I'm going to share with you this afternoon, right? We're not talking about today or tomorrow. We're talking about, right? If you make a decision 5 and 10 years down the road, what will happen? So I began to think, right? In fact, at my insurance career, I was making good income, right? Every month, not a problem for me to survive. Also, pretty good life, right? But, I'm thinking about what happened 10, 20, 30 years down the road. What do I want? Right? We are not born to become a doctor. It's just that you pick up the course, right? Or some of you become accountant because you pick up the course. You qualify to become the professional. But we were not born to become an accountant, right? So the point of time, I'm asking myself, right, what are the things that I really want, right, in my life? So I came to a conclusion. I find that if I could achieve long-term, right, stable and continual high income, then I think that my life I will be having a very beautiful life because I will have time freedom, right? I have a money freedom, right? So this is something I pursue. So I started to write. I started to draft my future, right? In fact, for those of you who attended our business school before, for entrepreneurs, right? If you attended before BSc 1 for yesterday, right? There's one slide that this is very familiar. In fact, this is the slide. This is the graph that I draw for myself, right? About my future. If I make a different whatever decision. So at the point of time at 37 years old, if I say that if I'm going to look for another job, right, what will happen to me? So I asked myself, right, 27, if I work for 30 years or 40 years later, by the time I retire, 60 or 65, right, my income will go back to zero. But what happened to my commitment? My commitment at the point of time could be high, right? But also for some people, you realize that halfway down the road, they could be retrenched, which happened over the last COVID crisis, 2 years, a lot of people got retrenched. The income stopped all of a sudden, but you got commitment. You don't know what to do. So, in fact, you realize that many people, they go into employment without realizing that what is the destiny. Pretty scary. But even though you may be having a high income employment job, but that's not secured. But can you imagine that 90% of people choose this path and nobody told them about it? How scary is it, right? And we always believe that job has got security. So we are being brainwashed. We are being educated wrongly, right? For many, many years. The second option that I could do is that continue my self-employment, become an insurance agent, right? And practice. But I realize that there's also a limitation. By the time one day you realize that I cannot work anymore. I cannot do sales anymore, right? My income will go back to zero. Same for doctors, a lot of self-employed people. So this is not something that I want, right? The third option, probably, after acquire some selling skills, some of the skills that I acquire in the financial industry, I probably can start my own business, right? But I realize that for most of the traditional, conventional businessmen, the risk is very high. So this COVID crisis proved us correct, right? Many businesses are disrupted and they are gone altogether, right? And for those of you who are starting, today you are still young, probably they can come back again. But what happened? This happened to you when you're 60, 70 years old. That you build up a fortune, right? A business for like 40 or 50 years, but after which you realize that one event happened, it goes back to zero. So I do not want to have that kind of end outcome, right? So I began to explore and I get to know about network marketing. Also through the introduction in Rich Dad Poor Dad, right, by Robert Kiyosaki. I was just surprised that all these people, right, they are established people, right? They actually, business people, they actually recommend and endorse network marketing. So when I study about network marketing, right, I noticed this company, New Skin, that wanted to come to our region in Singapore especially, right, and identify this as a very great opportunity with that wide range of product, which I'm going to explain later on, right? And I see, like, what's my future if I embark on this journey? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. So I noticed it's something that's very interesting, which is what we call the compounding effect, right? We know about law of compound interest, right? But many times you realize that we cannot compound our time. We could compound our investment probably, but we cannot compound our time for whatever we do. So when I understand about this graph, right, I decided that I jump into this journey. So this is my growth path, right? This was the early 12 years. So I was working very hard. I was very focused. A lot of people was asking me a lot of questions. Is it because that I've got a lot of good selling skills That's why I'm successful over here, right? To tell you the truth is that the reason why that I have a lot of big results over here is because I have clarity of goal right at the start. That means on the first day I joined the business, I know what's the end outcome, right? That's why I never stop. Despite the fact that I have a lot of obstacles, a lot of objection, right? I know that the end outcome is good. I just want to get there as soon as I can. I'm not sure whether you understand what I'm trying to tell you. Right? For most people, you realize that they came in because they don't know what they want. Right? What will this platform brings to them? They have a lot of hesitation. When they get some objection, some setback, you realize that they are not looking for solution, but they are stuck at the problems. Right? So true enough, after 12 years, I realized that my achievement, right, it's not to show off. Honestly, it's not for me to show off. It's just a good testimonial to show you that, in fact, compounding, right, in our business is indeed possible. Because I'm a human being. Can you see that I'm a human being? Right? If any human being that have done it before, that means you can do it. Agree? So I still remember in the early days when I first started, I'm a Malaysian. I get exposed to direct selling in my early days, when I was like 6, 7 years old. Right? My mom used to be a company A distributor, part-time. Right? We have a shop, at the same time, she was also a distributor. So I attended some home party before. So to most of the Malaysian, you realize we're quite familiar with we have some form of impression about direct selling. But again, I tell myself that this is not something that I want to do, including many of you, right? But why I choose this path, not because of the direct selling portion. It's about the compounding effect and the end outcome that I want. So again, by focusing all my resources and energy in this platform, right? Then I reach the top milestone, right, in the new skin business. Okay. Well, alongside, right, I think there are some benefits because in our entrepreneurship journey, sometimes you can see your friends who are working very hard, right, in their starting up their own company. After working for 20 years, they lose their health. Some go to hell. Because you lose your health, of course, you go to hell, right? So in fact, you realize that we've seen a lot of people, they're putting on weight, right? They look so much older. But I think, right, the moment of time when I first started, I have the wisdom that chose new skin, right? On top of just getting a good compounding result, right, income. But I think it was something that attracted to me is about the products. Because we all know that you are what you eat, right? In Chinese, we call it 病从口入. That means what we eat, right? So definitely by exposing to the health and the beauty products that we have in the new skin, right? I think I begin to imagine myself, right? Compared to people who are not exposed 10, 20 years down the road, definitely I will become definitely a different version, right? Compared to my if I choose other platform. So I think this is the good testimonials over the last 20 years. Am I still looking okay? I just celebrated my birthday last month, right? So I'm officially big 50 years old. So I started when I was 28 way back in December 2000. So today, I think it's still going strong. Yeah, so thankful very much for this wonderful platform. Not just offering about the money-making opportunities, I think the health and beauty is very important, right? Especially with this COVID crisis, we realized that. Right, so that was when I become team lead, I think 9 months when I become team lead, if I'm not wrong, right? Way back in 2001. So this was taken last year, 2021, for our SD convention. So I think that no need to say anything, right? Definitely this platform has really bring a lot of benefits to me, right? So I hope to be able to share with you more about what I get from this benefit. Okay, why I choose new skin? Right, I think many of you could be very surprised, especially for men, right? When we first started, you realized that new skin started with skincare company. So we literally only have skincare products in the past. We have no health product. We don't have the reset. We don't have a weight management, TNIT. We don't have that, right? But you know why I choose new skin? What I see, right, as a business builder or businessman or investor, right? So there are certain key points that I identify, that I saw in this platform. Not just about direct selling, not about selling products, not about network marketing or multi-level, but rather you've learned solid accents about the platform, right? So basically, it's the same thing, zero risk. If you notice that I love zero risk or low risk, right, platform. Because why? It can only go up, right? You cannot lose a lot. So the first thing I identify, I realize that this is fantastic because it's zero risk, there's no risk. The second thing is about global business. Just like the limitation I found in my previous platform in insurance, I cannot cross border, cross country to build my business. So I realized that this is a more powerful platform because it provides me with a lot of possibility. Okay, you can write it down, right? This is something that I think for myself in the past, right? I think that if there's a possibility, all I need to do is to work on the probability. Understand what I'm saying? Because when there's possibility means that there is a odds, chances, right? So all you need to do is to work on the probability to become, increase your probability, the chances to become successful. But there are some platforms that you choose is zero possibility. So no matter how hard you work, right, for 10 and 20 years, you will not bring a business to overseas. Because zero possibility means that zero probability. Confused, don't know what I'm saying. Never mind, right? If you understand what I'm saying, right, probably that if you do not understand, ask the people around you. Hey, you understand or not? Just to wake them up, because they don't understand, they're probably sleeping already, huh? Right, but anyway, I think zero risk global business is one of the things that excited me because it's a small market, right? Singapore is the point of time only 3 million population. Small market, right? So I was just jokingly telling a lot of friends of building a business in Singapore, right? Regardless of whatever trade industry. I said, no matter how big you are, you can only serve 3 million people. Correct? Right? That's the biggest you can serve. Right? If you're able to build a global business, for example, like in Malaysia, right? You have 30 million, right? So 30 million, you realize that if you serve 10%, it's also 3 million already. If you go to Indonesia, we have 300 million, right? If you serve 1%, it's already 3 million already. So does it matter in terms of the scope? Makes a lot of difference, right? The wide, you can go very wide. So it's very scalable and you can mobile. It's very mobile. Many times you realize that if I decided, right, that I do not want to stay in Singapore anymore, I can move. It's like I take my business right at the back. I just go to another country and reside over there. And this will become a future trend for young people. Right? For young people today, you realize that they do not want to be fixated in one location. Right? If you have some friends or some of your children, maybe, right, young children, you realize that they don't want to be that small and fixated in one places. Right? They want to travel around the world. Come on, what kind of business you realize that you can just travel around the world and you're not affected? With Zoom today on the internet, you realize that literally, right, you can bring the business together with you. In Singapore context today, right, as all know that the property in Singapore, just a couple of days, for those of you who read news, HDB flat has go up to the record of 1.4 million Sing dollars. Can buy bungalow in Malaysia, right? Hey, 1.4 million Sing dollars means what? Ringgit is how much is that? Huh? 4.2. Now it's 3.18. Is it correct or not? About 4+ million you can buy bungalow over here. Right? So, the cost of living in Singapore, right, being around the property is becoming very expensive. So I'm not surprised that if people were able to see the vision of this business, right, and they do not have to be stuck in Singapore and compromise, right, the kind of the lifestyle, being stuck. But you realize that they can choose to travel or even stay in whichever country they like, but their business are not affected. This is what I mean by movable. Right? Hardly you can find any profession or business is so movable. Right? Well, I think that the proven track record is something that's also very important because, like I think in Malaysia, we are pretty exposed to a lot of money games, or friends of us, you realize that fall into the victims becoming a pyramid scheme or money game, right? A lot of times you realize that, we thought that this is not a real business. Yeah, true. Money game is never a real business because they don't offer any genuine product or services in exchange, right? They're just playing a game. So if you're playing a game, definitely you realize that one day the game will stop. So when I first started way back in year 2000 December, there's almost like New Skin started in 1984. So I was observing their track record. I think track record is very important. Right? In fact, you realize that whether you invest in a company, right, whether you want to choose to be a partner with a certain individual, you look at their track record. Right? Like, for example, for those people you realize that apply for a job, they look at their resume. When they look at the resume, means what? They look at their track record. So track record is very important for you to build a long-term business. So when I get to know about New Skin being a public listed company in New York Stock Exchange. And since 1984, the time I joined, the time is about 16 or 17 years old already, right? So they have enough track record to prove, right? In some of the markets like Japan, like Hong Kong, like Taiwan, like Korea, right? So I gained a lot of confidence because I know that all I need to do is that just repeat, right? Put in effort, that I'll be able to achieve the success that I want. The last one, which I think is important, I mentioned about risk-free, right? But risk-free, for most of the risk-free business, risk-free means zero risk. Zero risk usually is zero leverage. For those of you who study economics, right, you know that high leverage comes with high risk. Just like you buy a lot of property, but you don't have enough income to finance one, right? So if you stop your income equivalent, you cannot finance a property anymore. That's high leverage. It comes with high risk. But this business model, interestingly, is probably one of the very few financial instruments that give high leverage with almost negligible risk. Very interesting, right? Why? Because most of the cost centers and the overheads are borne by New Skin. So they are just like a giant partners that investing into you. For most of us, we get to know New Skin through the product. A set of TNIT, we want to slim down. We got excited about our result. We share with people around you. But this afternoon, I want you to give you another perspective when you decided to partner with them. Because in any business partnership, right, the strength of a partner is very important. You can buy any product for you to use as a consumer, right? But if you want to build a business, if you have a giant partner, in fact, Eveline said it's easier for you to build a long-term business. So my thinking when I first started was, even though that the point of time when we join as a distributor or brand affiliate, we need to pay $65 Sing dollars. Now your join is zero, free. So good, right? Don't need to pay anything as a brand affiliate. So I didn't think that I'm joining for free. In fact, I was just thinking that New Skin is investing into my business, right? With all the things they're provided for us, right? And all I need to do only two roles, important roles that I need to master my skills. The first one is, right, responsible in moving products. How do I be able to effectively move product for them? Because that's my job. That's how I get the volumes. I get commission, right? The second thing is how can I market opportunities so that I can have more partners, right, to venture into my business. So I'll need to master these two skills, which is taught in our system, right? The rest of all risks are being borne by New Skin. So that's the reason why, as you scale your business, your risk is very minimized. But for most business, right, if you open one store, you make money. But if you're so aggressive and ambitious in a big thing that you want to expand a business, whether through franchise or whichever means, you expand to 10 or 100 shops. You realize that when you open the 100 shop, you lose money. Why? Because your risk, you're bearing higher and higher risk. So you can't scale. You can scale, but it can be higher risk. Right? But in this business, you realize that starting from you can expand outwards, but there's no additional risk. You start from Malaysia today. You could easily connect it to every part of the world and start to build a global business in your skin. This is something that's so interesting, which I find. Right? Well, I think talking about global market, many people know that some of you probably heard about China's success story in the past, Japan's success story in the past, in recent years, Indonesia's success stories in the past. These are all big markets, right? It came from a small market like Singapore. Now it's 5 million. That's the biggest I have, right? Malaysia, we have about 35 million. I don't know which country this country is going to open, right? This one market that haven't opened yet has got today, as in last year, has got 1.4 billion population. And they have no birth control. So by the time, right, New Skin opened in India, there will be the largest population, even bigger than China. So if you look at the track record and statistics, right, of the big markets like China, Japan, right? Japan is about 155, after 150, 200 million, right? 1.4 billion population. Some people immediately, we have some Indian friends over here. Do you have any Indian friends over here? Right, I think we have. Some of you are excited. Then some people are asking, when? Now. Right? Start right now, not until the market is open, right? Why I'm touching on this market is because that there's some interesting figures that's showing for the last 2 years, right? And one company that we're very familiar, which is actually I would say that dealing with a similar product that we have, weight management product, right? Company H, right? Last year, this company, in fact, this company, India, right? They were the second largest market after US. That means that Company H, India, is even bigger than Company H, China. So they're the second largest market in the whole world after US. Guess what? If they can do it, we can do it right and better. Because what? Right? In Singapore and Malaysia, we have the number one weight management product, right? So, there's a lot of, that's why I say that there's a lot of opportunity, but not asking you to book an air ticket tomorrow, you go to India. Huh? No, you don't have to do it. Once you understand about this business, you realize you don't have to do it, right? But you need to understand that these are all opportunity for your lifetime. For your lifetime, right? We are talking about not a one-day opportunity. I'm not interested in one-day opportunity. People tell you that, this can make a lot of money. How long? 1 day, 2 days, right? I'm just telling you, so I'm sharing you something over here. Realize that it's a life, this per lifetime, right? You are able to participate in this kind of big opportunities if you do it right, right? Well, these are some of the global opportunities. Of course, we have existing markets, more than 50 old markets, right? You can revisit. In fact, there's always a opportunity renewal strategy. They can expand, right, to all these existing markets. You will never get saturated. The second thing that actually inspired me to take action in this platform is the innovative product technology. Right? Why is this so important? Right? I know some of you that you were pitched by multi-level marketing opportunity. They draw the circle to you, showing you the plan, right? How much money you can make, right? You get really excited. Oh, your heart pump, 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 pump. But let me ask you one question, right? No matter how attractive the plan, if the product cannot work, the plan cannot work. Agree? Right? Because the business came from the product consumption, the services that people are using, and that's how your business can be sustainable. So, important that you need to have an attractive plan, but you need to have good product to support you. Right? So, I was inspired by the New Skin R&D team. Right? We have a world-class scientific and team R&D team. They have the ability to produce new product year over year. Just imagine that if you're still using the old Nokia handphone, or you're still selling the old Nokia handphone and telling people that I'm selling phone, I'm selling mobile phone, but you're selling the old Nokia phone. Yeah, some people probably will collect it for a dig, right? But most people will not buy from you because your product technology cannot make it, right? Because people are talking about digital phone right now, but you're still selling the old phone, right? In the past. Just like a lot of direct selling companies and network marketing companies, they tell you that how much money you can make, but you can look at the product, especially when you compare with New Skin technology, you laugh off. Right? It's totally, you cannot compare. Just like compare Apple and compare with old Nokia phone. So to me, I find that the engine of the business is the product. Even though when I first started, I was not familiar with product because it's skincare. But when I study about it, I realized that there's technology behind it. I started from this product. I just want to bring you some old memories to those of the friends that started together with us 20 years ago. You know what is this? Yeah? This helped me to bring $1 million US. Because this is one of the available products those days in the market, right, that we used to do product demo on. Right? For some of you, I do not know. It's still available in our market right now in Singapore and Malaysia. I just checked, it's about 40 old ringgit. 40 old ringgit product, right? And you can use for 6 months to 1 year. But to be honest, right, the technology that we have in this body bar itself, right, at the moment of time in 1984, right, is considered cutting edge technology. Right, we did a lot of pH limits paper tests, right, to show that how this is very aligned with our body, our body pH values. Right, it's good, it's beneficial for our body. So we use this product. Right, that's why in the past our product philosophy is called all of the good, none of the bad ingredients. In fact, we have hairspray also. I was asking some of the leaders, do they have hairspray in the past that we have? Right, at the point of time, our hairspray is the only hairspray in the market that says no non-alcohol. So we started with that, right? But in those days, in 1984, it's considered advanced technology, even for collagen in the past that we had. But today we move on, especially with age lock technology that we started about 10, 12 years ago, right? Since 2009, it brings Nu Skin to the next level. I think most of you came in during this era, right? There's about 1 decade, about 12 years. It transformed the business altogether. So how does it contribute? Basically, you realize that we are doing about additional 1.5 billion every year out from the age lock platform. This is how powerful this age lock platform over the last decade, right? Well, to show you, right, with the introduction of age lock, we've been featured in a lot of medias, and of course the Discovery Channel 2 times that publish age lock technology. Amazing. And our product innovation over the years, right? In fact, if you look at our first range of product that we have in 2009, that was the first time we introduced our age lock transformation set. For those of you who went to US convention in the past, in 2009, you probably get exposed to that product. But we have no clarity about the vision yet. We don't know what's that, right? We just like today, you realize there's so much crowd. We don't know what's happening. Right now, you're in Malaysia, right? We went to US convention, so much crowd. And people are like, grabbing for the age lock transformation. We don't even know what is it, right? We have the spa in these days. And I remember that, right, for age, we started to capture the vision of age lock in 2010. Right? We did an age lock rally in Johor Bahru, the Zone Hotel in the past, we call it, right? In April 2010. We call it the age lock rally then. How many of you actually there? If you were there, put up your hands. It's all in the front row, you see. You know why they are the front rows? So we did age lock, so-called a vision, right? Casting a vision way back in 2010 in April in Johor Bahru. I still remember the point of time because I'm the key speaker at the point of time. We do not know much about age lock yet, right? We have probably introduced the age lock transformation set, but subsequently after a few months, right, we have an LTO for our R square. We don't even know what is R square yet, right? That was the talk. The age lock rally was just before the R square, about like 5 months or so, 4 months before that. So we did that, right? We did that. So started off with, after that, with R square, phenomenal success. And after which we have the TR90, right? Before that, we are doing a TRA. We have a version to a TR90, right? Huge success until today, after 10 years, right? Literally, it's about if I'm not wrong, it's 2013, we have the LTO. Right, 2013, we have the LTO, right? Then after which, today is almost like 10 years. We are still very successful with this product in our market, right? Being the top #1 wealth management product. So can you imagine for those people who can see the vision of this technology and participate in all the product opportunity, do you think these people can make money? So they make money for a reason. There's a reason behind it. If you look back the history, right? And subsequently, we have our youth spend. For those of you who join, the point of time you participate in the LTO and youth spend, it's one of the largest LTO that we have product review. Then we have our age lock me, Lumi Spa, right? Lumi Spa today you realize that being the #1, right, facial product, facial gadget, beauty device in the world. Then we have this advanced body spa, age lock boost. Of course, subsequently we have this reset. They have a LTO, very successful LTO for the last 2 months in Malaysia, Indonesia, right? Of course, in Singapore. So all in all, we did about $48 million in Southeast Asia. And just Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, we did 95% of the volumes of the whole Southeast Asia. This is crazy, right? But if you look at this brand itself, right, until from 2010, when the vision talk about age lock, that we do not know anything about it, 2010, that was one cycle away. Now it's 2022, right? 12 years ago. Until today, this brand fetched 10 billion values, meaning that we have moved more than 10 billion worth of products over the last 12 years. So if you are thinking, right, if you are still thinking where the money come from, the money don't come from the plan. The money comes from the movement of the product because of the great demand of this technology. This is a business fundamental, right? Plan just pay you according to the product that you move. Okay, so if you understand about this fundamental, you'll be very excited. Okay, in fact, that if you look at, I just want to show you some numbers, interesting number. So all these numbers you write down. Today is Saturday, I give you some lucky number. You know what's 249? Make a guess. You know, there's some people are saying, right? They say that, Rayne, you're lucky, right? You joined the business early, right? But many people do not know that there are a lot of people join the business early like me, right? But they never persist. They never see to the end. They never have results, right? 249 is the numbers that when I first started New Skin of a number of $1 million Circle 1 members. December 2000, the month, the year that I joined, the reported numbers was 249 COE, MDC. Okay? Next number, write it down. What is 724? Born in 72, right? April. Me. Joking. 724, right? Is December 2010, the year that we introduced H-Lock technology. Okay? So, last year, 2022, 2021 December. So literally after we launched the H-Lock technology platform and introduced to the market with a lot of our products, right? From 724 of Million Circle Award members, right? It jumped to 1750 for the last 10 years. That means that we literally created 1,000 $1 million Circle members for the last decade. Interesting, right? So if you think that, right, by just joining early will be the big opportunity, it may not be necessary, right? I think the timing is also very important, right? I just shared about this, the H-Lock rally that we did in December and in April in 2010, right? At that point of time, many of you know that Nicholas, right? Nicholas and Koh Hong is our $10 million Circle members. You know, they are definitely one of the most successful leaders, right, in the whole New Skin, right, in Southeast Asia especially, right? In fact, they were just an EBD, Blue Diamond, when they attended the H-Lock rally way back in April 2010. Can you imagine that? Right? If I turn back the clock and bring you back to the history, right, bring you back to the past, can you imagine that, right? Or even Derek Tia, the day he was just telling me that was his first big meeting he attended. He said it was so noisy, so don't know what I'm talking about. Now, what am I talking about this afternoon is not important, right? But he sees something about it, so he committed himself. So today he's also one of the very successful, right, leader, you know, in New Skin. So this is why that I find this afternoon, right, you come at the right time. If you're able to capture the vision I'm going to share in the later part, right, I think it's going to be a very exciting journey for the next decade, 10 years. We don't want to be successful for 1 year, for 1 month, for 6 months, right? We want to build a sustainable business that you can see the vision can last, even can outlast you in the future. So this is something that gets me very excited, right? Especially with the empowerment. Well, I think I just want to touch a little bit about the product that we just introduced, right? Which is H-Lock Reset. This is the product. You seen this before? Yeah, I guess lah, because this has become very popular product, right? After our builders are sharing in the market today, right? Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, right? I don't know about, but if you have experienced R-Square, U-Span, and TR90 are one of the top popular products in our market right now, right? For Reset, right? We're just starting with our LTO, just a preview. In fact, today, Everline said until September, you cannot get the products in the market yet, right? So are there opportunity in this Reset? Just like when we talk about TRA or TR90 in the past, we talk about weight management, there are a lot of offer, there are a lot of options in the market also. But we identify, we zoom down, we realize that there's a unique niche in our offer for TR90 program, right? And some leaders are actually focusing in building that program and this product, right, to expand the market, they benefit from the growth. So I just want to touch a little bit about Reset, right? About metabolic health, a better solution of metabolic health. In fact, not many people understand about it, right? I cannot speak like Dr. Joe. Is Dr. Joe here? Dr. Joe Chong is here. Thank you very much for helping us to share in a system meeting. It was detailed, right? Simplified. I definitely cannot speak like him. Don't expect me to speak like him. Huh? He's a professional because it's of his background, right? But I can speak in terms of a businessman, entrepreneur, right? Which anchor that I see this, right? So if we are able to let people know, understand about better solution for metabolic health, and really understand what's metabolic health, I think we have a lot of opportunities. So what are the problems right now, right? This is sold out that I told you, right? So basically we live in a always on, I mean, for modern people today, a lot of the lifestyles that you realize that is very different for those who live in the cage, right? In the cave, not in the cage, right? In this city with mobile phone, the lifestyle that we have is totally very different. So for modern lifestyle, you realize that you need to have a modern solution, right? You cannot have the old way of solution. So in fact, 90% of consumers agree that our modern lifestyle is taking a toll on our bodies, right? And 88% of us are metabolically unhealthy. That means one out of 8. That means every 8% you see, right? Only 1% is healthy. 7 of them is not healthy, not that metabolically healthy. So if we are able to let them know how Reset can offer them a better solution for their metabolic health, do you think that this product will carry a lot of opportunities? Yes or no? Yeah. I think it will not be small, right? Compared to TR90, but probably that you realize that we are educating people about slimming, right? But today you realize that bottom line is 7 out of, only 1 out of 8 is healthy. That means that you realize that there are a lot of opportunities. So who is going to capture this market for the next couple of years through the Reset? We do not know. Depends on people who are very passionate about, a strong belief about this product, right? That's how we move the TR90. We move our R square and use spend, right? The product is working. It's just that whether we are leveraging on the product to expand our market. Well, what is next, right? For HLOC platform, it's not end. We started way back in 2010. Some people did it. I should have attended the HLOC rally. Maybe you were invited, but you never joined. Who knows, right? But in fact, you realize that you think there's no more opportunity. I would say that for HLOC opportunity, the platform technology, right, is never ending. Why? HLOC is anti-aging technology, right? We are facing an aging population. So if we are facing aging population, we need anti-aging solution, right? And in fact, today you realize that it's easier for us because we provide a wide spectrum of choices. Compared in the past, probably only have 1 or 2 products for us to share with people. So personally, I feel that there are still a lot of potential for HLOC technology to grow, to expand. In fact, right, we hope to be able to introduce a new product next year. Yeah. So many of you, some of you are already very excited about LTO that we have in Reset, right? So we hope, right? In fact, on the back, we were just working together with scientific team, right, to reassure that we're going to launch. If we know that we are very successful in TRA in those days, and we have TR90 very successful, right? If we have an enhanced version of TR90, right? Just like iPhone 8 is good, iPhone 9 is good, iPhone 10 is good, iPhone 11 is good, right? iPhone 13 is good. And this year we're going to launch iPhone 14. So basically you realize that based on if you're existing Apple consumer, Apple iPhone user, you will buy again if any new version, right? So do you think that if we are able to launch this new product next year, will there be opportunities? I think only a few of you agree on it. Definitely yes, right? Because the existing customer will want to try a better version also. Right? And those of them never try also want to try. Anyway, I do not know about you. Right? I'm super excited. Right? I'm super excited. So if they can come up, launch something about this thing is coming up next year, I think I'm already giving you insider information. Huh? You know, in a public listed company, right? Lucky I'm not a company director or whichever. You cannot leak this kind of information because it's insider information, right? Something is brewing behind, right? So you know in advance, like 1 year in advance, right? So in fact, you have a 1 year advantage timeline for you to build your network. If you see the opportunity today, if you believe that vision, right? If not, you realize that I tell you for what? Just a piece of information. So if you treat a piece of information or you treat it as an opportunity, it's a two different kind of treatment. You understand what I mean? Because the way you're going to build a business is going to be very different. So this is going to be very exciting just within our HLOG platform. Don't talk about Empower Me yet. Okay. Well, the third reason why that I think I chose New Skin is because of residual compounding cash flow. So something that I want to introduce you today, probably you never heard before, is called residual. Compounding, probably many of us heard before, right? Because of law of compound interest. Residual, this word residual is kind of difficult for you to be able to translate to Chinese, Mandarin, right? Residual means that you do for a period of time, you get paid for the rest of your life for your residual, you know. So this is something that's very interesting, which most of our job, right? We don't have this kind of opportunity. Very rare, unless you are something that some people that are very talented, like Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, right? They do the work for one time, they get paid royalties for many times. Until they are not around anymore, their children or their family members are still benefiting for it. But most of the platform that we are working on do not have residual income, right? And some platform, not only that they don't have residual income, they have residual works and services. You know what it means? It means that, like, for example, in insurance, in those days when I was in insurance, I get paid in commission for 5 years. For every of the case that I close, right? My customer, I close 5 years. But I cannot tell my customer that this year is a 5 year, 5th year. Next year, I cannot see you anymore. If you die, I don't process the claim for you. Cannot. Right? So the more customers that I have, right? If I have 100 customers, 200 customers, it means I'm piling up a lot of residual works and services year on year. But all these works and services don't pay me anymore. You understand what I mean? So when you understand about residual, you need to understand that whether it's residual work or residual income. Residual income means that no money lah. Residual work means that work more, no money lah. You need to understand about it. So residual compounding cash flow, that means that you do for a period of time, you build it up, right? You get residual income or cash flow. Like the other thing is about compounding. So compounding, we recognize is about snowball effect, right? Some people may not understand so much about compounding, but you probably heard about snowball effect. 滚雪球, right? So just want to share with you about this. Okay, this is my testimonial I show already, right? The snowball effect. We heard about snowball effect. We heard about snowball, but we don't understand how do you create the snowball effect, right? I think many of you never heard about this thing. So according to Warren Buffett, right, one of the very successful stock investor, he mentioned there are two key conditions for you to build so-called create the snowball effect. The first one, the runway must be long enough, right? Meaning you realize that if the slope is short, how to have snowball effect, right? First condition, the runway, the slope must be long enough so that you can guna, right? You can roll, right? It's never ending. So the first condition. Okay. Second condition is the snow must be thick enough. Not your skin. The snow must be thick enough, right? So that you realize that when you roll, got snow But you roll and roll, still no snow, right? So it's two conditions for you to be able to create snowball effect. So how does it relate to our business? Or how does it relate to our life, right? In fact, I just share with you about why we're able to enjoy compounding result in New Skin. Actually, it's the same thing. Long runway means that this company, this platform must be long-term. Right? If the opportunity cannot last for long, you realize that roll 2 times, no more already. Right? So it has to be, for you to have experienced the snowball effect, it must be a platform or opportunity itself must be long-term. They have a long runway for you to scale. That's the first condition, which New Skin fits into that, right? The second one, right? The snow must be sticky, must be thick, right? Must be thick. That means that this company itself must be solid, right? They can provide you the snow, must be solid. But one last thing very important, the snowball is like you must move. Right? If you know, New Skin has got a long-term platform, long-term opportunity, right? The New Skin company itself is that they are solid. They support you with a lot of technology, a lot of support. But you are snowball, you never move. Then you 变成雪人 snowman, not snowball. So if you are provided, right, with two conditions from the New Skin platform, you need to move faster. The faster you move, right, then you stick the snow, the snowball become bigger and bigger. So if you do understand, right, many of our leaders have able to enjoy the kind of compounding growth is because of this understanding of snowball effect. Most companies, right, MLM companies, you've probably participated before, or you heard about it before. They tell about how plan they can make money, but they're not long term. So you will never be able to produce a snowball effect over a long term period of time, right? So this is something that I learned from Warren Buffett, right? Then at the same time, I'm trying to relate why I'm so lucky. Actually, there's a reason behind it, because it fits into the model, right? That you are able to compound your business. Well, the second thing about building assets, there's a difference between growing income and building assets. Many of us, we started the business, we sell some TR90, we sell some Duo, we sell Galvanic Spa, right? We thought that we are salesmen, we're direct seller. Well, on the front, you realize that true, these are all the product offering in the market. But the true fact is, through the customer acquisition, you turn this become an asset, right? Either they become your loyal customers for long term, or they become your partners like a brand rep. So some of these brand rep, they grew to become very big, like a bungalow. Bungalow rental is higher, right? Some of them, you realize that it's just a HDB flat, but 1.4 million or so. Right? Rental also very high. So literally, right, I do not know what platform you used to work with, right, that you can acquire assets. But by doing New Skin right, you're actually acquiring more assets and giving you rental income year in, year out. Right? So this is what I mean, that if you think New Skin is just like another MLM company, you probably have the wrong perspective. Right? It's about assets acquisition through the network that you build. Right? The last part, asking yourself, right? Are you pursuing one-time income, or you want to look for a lifetime income? Remember I mentioned about the last career that I have, right? I say that most of the career or job or profession cannot outlive us. That means if we are not around, the income will stop altogether for your family. So I want you to seriously think about this thing, right? Are you investing a lot of time to build a successful career, or you're working very hard to build a legacy for your family and generation to come? The same time, effort, you need to commit yourself, right? But the outcome is very different. Why? Because one is that you commit the time, you are building asset. The other one, you're just making income. Does it make sense to you? Right? If you're able to get what I'm trying to share with you, then probably you can catch it. Right? What do I mean by building a legacy? And most jobs in the market today, right? They cannot outlive you. You need to find a platform like New Skin, they can outlive you. If one day we are not around anymore, will this thing continue, right? So what is the opportunity ahead, which is, I'm going to touch, how much time do I have? Never do your job now. I still have 30 minutes. I talk so much already. Okay, anyway, right, this is the highlight for the day. Right, the front part is all teaser, appetizer. So what I'm going to touch about this today is more on the upcoming vision and the strategy that we have from the company. I personally feel that this is very important. This is just like if you understand about, just like a shareholders meeting, not just like a talk, some minute talk. If you do understand about the shareholders meeting, you understand about the vision of the company, what are they going ahead, what is the strategy, right? You capitalize on this opportunity, right? Devise a strategy. I think it's going to be very profitable in the future, right? So what is the opportunity ahead? We're going to refer to our founders, Brett Ronnie, right? In fact, you want to understand about the DNA of this company, right? Our founding was based on innovation, We always wanted to be 10 steps ahead of everyone else. When people see the success of each related product like TR90, Duo, whichever product, right, 10 billion revenue we created. In fact, that was 10 years ago we saw the vision. So 10 steps ahead. So I quote you some examples, like what happened in the past, because we are about 30, how many years? We are 38 years in the business since 1984. So we have a lot of history to share, right? A lot of history to share. So one of the early part of innovation, right? That why we are able to participate in this global opportunity is because they invested in a satellite computer system way back in 1988, 89. So when the company decided that they do not just want to build the business in US, they want to expand in the global. So we are so innovative that we are the world's first company to have this global, borderless, seamless compensation plan. For those of you who joined earlier, or join now, probably that you take it for granted because you came in, you realize that you introduced some people in Thailand, in Indonesia, in whichever part you got commission. But honestly, in the 80s, in the 90s, no network marketing companies are doing global borderless seamless plan, including one of the oldest company A, that is very famous in Malaysia. They are not global borderless seamless, right? It means it's not interlinked. So we are the world first. We are not, at the point of time, we are a young company, but we got a vision. So that satellite computer system, we were small then, but accumulated investment is more than 100 million too. So this is how this company has a DNA of investing for future, right? Then the second incident that actually happened to be my time that I get able to participate in the opportunity is a China market opening, right? Why I was excited about China market? Because of the company's investment. Because if someone just tell me that how big is China market, of course I know lah. I Google, I know how big is China. Right? Big doesn't mean there's opportunity. Correct? So you realize that if you want to benefit from the opportunity, you realize that there must be preparation in order for you to get a result. So when I realized that, right, one of the big investment they invested in China for 10 years, right, accumulated more than 100 million US dollars. I know that they are serious business. They're committed for long term. So that's why I decided to spend some time in China. Right, so that's for the second biggest investment. Of course, subsequently, we have HLOC platform. We acquire LifeGen, right? We acquire this biophotonic scanner, license. All these are some smaller investment, but that create a lot of big results and volumes for us. So this thing that I'm going to share with this afternoon, right, is something that is also company have already invested a lot of money, and that's the reason why I think I have the responsibility to share with you. Right, because I think that this is going to be very big in the future. Right, so introducing Empower Me. So this is a key topic for today, right, which is already, the ideas has been created in this year, and it's moving so fast right now, right, in terms of the execution. So we have invested to now 107 million. I just have a confirmation before I came on the stage, because I heard the closing session in the team lead trip in London that our COE Rayne was sharing that they are planning to invest 500 million US dollars. So I was listening on the broadcast, so I'm not sure that is he saying the right amount of money, right? So I double confirm. I texted him this morning asking him that is this the real thing that you have mentioned about 500 million we invested? He said yes. Right, because of the internet of all the connected devices investment, right? The digital ecosystem that we are building up, all these are going to cost a lot of money. So all in all, you realize that, right, they're going to invest more than 500 million to build up all this platform. Amazing, right? I don't know about you. In your company, if putting up so much money, investing in this venture, and you don't know what's happening, as a shareholder, I think definitely this opportunity will not be yours, right? But if you have some idea, I know even though after I introduced to you, when I listen to it, I don't understand also, right? But when I listen a few more rounds, I begin to understand the whole big picture, right? But still not all yet. So I just want to share with you some of the things that I learned. Okay, so basically with the current connected devices that we have, just like iPhone, iPad, these are all connected devices, right? So spa, scanner, HLOC boost, right? Lumi Spa, Body Spa, even a personalized weight management system. So all these connected devices, right, will be actually building into our ecosystem, the whole ecosystem, a platform, right, called Empower Me. So that's our next expansion opportunities. Okay, basically, these are some of the key things that we are trying to do with Empower Me. Some of the things you're not familiar, right? But it's happening. For example, subscription. It's not very familiar for, you never have this one. But probably some of you subscribe to Netflix. Older people maybe do understand what's Netflix. Right? Some of you still in the RTM, right? This is a vision and strategy, meaning that we are forecasting what's going to happen for consumer behavior for the next 10 years. That's called vision, right? The things are happening right now, right? Then some of you probably subscribe to Google service, like Google Cloud, right? Some of you use Gmail, right? The inbox not enough, right? You pay every month $1 plus. This is called subscriptions. Right? Some of you pay for Apple services, Apple iCloud, right? Also subscriptions. Some of the music, also, see, some of the younger people not, the older people see me like, don't know what is that. Right, doesn't matter, but it's happening. That's why you see the numbers are growing very fast. YouTube, watch YouTube, right? So in fact, I was watching YouTube to learn a lot of things. After that, you realize that I find that, wow, it's better for me to subscribe. So now I also monthly subscriber for YouTube. So this subscription has become a very, what they call it, new forms of business behavior, right? In terms of offering services, subscriptions. Actually, it's similar to our ARO, right? Similar to ARO. The second thing, right, gig economy, sounds like, very atas, right? Gig economy, what is gig, right? In fact, in New Skin, we started gig economy many, many years ago, since 1984. Right? Gig economy, basically, you realize that you're moonlighting, you're part-timer, right? Some of you realize that you started doing New Skin, you got a full-time job, you're part-time, right? So that's a gig, Now they come out with a very fashionable name, gig economy. We did that in 1984, but nobody gave a terms to it. But because why? The people participating, right, moonlighting, right, or which are part-timer, is not significant. Because of the cost of living today is so high, right? Part-time, extra supplementary income become a very important need. So this gig economy have developed itself to be so big, right? So the same thing for Empower Me and our technology, we are trying to be able to offer opportunity for this group of people. The next one is social commerce. With the social media, the utilization today, many of us are on Facebook, Instagram, right? In fact, you realize that this is a very normal behavior right now. So with the social media, right, social commerce is also taking off, right? But don't be so afraid about social commerce. Some people are thinking that the social commerce equals to e-commerce. Social commerce is not e-commerce. Social commerce is not internet marketing. We did social commerce many, many years ago, so 1984. Right, but that's called offline social commerce, meaning that people to people. It's just that in those years, our connected devices is only the handphone at home, right? Landline. Hello, how are you? That one fixed landline. It's still connecting people, but today with the advanced technology tools, right? Social media, you're able to connect with your friends, extended friends more effectively. It's just like that. Right? You need to understand the simple logic behind it. You don't get too complicated and think that, this is like e-commerce. It's no, it's social commerce. And with the ease of social media, social commerce become easier. Remember, 1984, we already started social commerce in another form. With social media, right? This has become so big because of social media. We are able to get connected easily, right? Well, that's why it's growing so much, right? Personalization, bespoke, right? This is also something that when customer become more affluent, right? They want better choices or something that tailor-made for them. So this is also growing in terms of trend. So this is what I'm going to do in Empower Me platform too, right? Another one is IoT, Internet of Things, right? I cannot explain in details, right? If you really understand, ask Google, right? But anyway, I'll give you a very simple terms. I think many of you, probably some of you are Apple users, right? You use Apple computer, you use iPhone, you use iPad, you use Apple Watch, right? So all these are all connected together, all your data or whichever. They call it Internet of Things, right? So this is not something new. It's been around for 10 years. But the adoption rate is getting higher and higher. Because why? Because some companies, they are able to create a kind of platform to support the customers, right? So that's why they become hugely successful. Well, so with Empower Me, we hope to be able to complete all these biggest trends. The next thing is that being a health and beauty company, right? And definitely want to know about beauty and wellness trend. In fact, for premium skincare, right? Look at the numbers itself, huh? Premium or beauty devices, right? By 2025, it's going to grow to 1.6 trillion from the current of 212 billion, which is almost like 6 times. I don't know about you, right? Nu Skin being a health and beauty company, health and wellness and beauty company, that means that we are in this big pool, right? If it's good, the number is going to grow to so big. If we are being competitive, that means that we are able to come up with something that is different compared to other people. We're able to capture the bigger market share. So this, after identify the key trends and realize that in terms of competitors, we do not have much competitors because most company, either they focus on the skincare, personal care, or they're focused on health. Very rare, right? A company whereby they are damn bloody good in both sectors. So that's our advantage. And we are not a new startup because new startup is not proven, right? We have come out with a lot of proven products over the years, last 3-4 years. So if you look at the numbers itself, it's very interesting, right? By 2025, for both the global beauty market, right, and the global wellness market, it will reach about from the current 476 billion to 6.3 billion. That's huge, right? If you don't know about numbers, doesn't matter. Because all these trends, all these numbers are by economists, right? And all this, they're forecasting the trend. But the key thing is that if you're able to participate in the trend, the chances for you to make money is easier, right? But if you're against the trend, it's always tough for you to make money. Agree? So you need to ride on the trend. I think that we are blessed today. You realize that in Nu Skin today, when they look at all these numbers, they position themselves correctly right now in the marketplace, right? In this both health and wellness, right? They want to be very, very competitive to catch up a bigger market share. So we have a refreshed version of our vision. So this is a new refreshed vision of our vision in Nu Skin, right? By 2025, to become the world's leading integrated beauty and wellness company, powered by our dynamic affiliate opportunity platform. So I hope, right, you are able to take this down because vision chart the direction. So this is where we are going, right? Beauty means we all know about beauty. Wellness means you realize that in terms of health, right? And the word integrated, right, means what? We're going to integrate whatever available products and services that we have to build into the ecosystem, to make the consumers becoming even more, customer experience become even better, right? So this is by 2015, right? We're going to be a leading brand. So if we are able to do it correctly with our investment, I think many of us will benefit from the trend. So what is Empower Me? Basically, right, it's our multi-year strategy that connects affiliates, which is our builders, and customers, right, through the product discovery. Because now the customers understand our product becoming easier compared to the past. Sometimes you realize that in the past we need to meet face to face. Today, sometimes you realize that you do not need to, right? You just do a face, or what you call it, a WhatsApp call, or even we call it about Zoom meeting, right? Or even video, right? You're able to connect with them, right? And with our Empower Me, in fact, right, with AI assisted, once the customers, right, are into our ecosystem, right, sometimes whatever they need, the algorithm will prompt them for whatever product they need. Some of you may not understand what I'm meaning now. Meaning that you let robot do the working for you once they are into your system. Okay, so product discovery. The second thing is interactive digital goals, tools. With the ecosystem we are building, digital ecosystem, right, that we are building with empowerment. The last part, right, is social sharing communities. This is the more important. Why? Because that we get to share the profits. Okay, you don't understand, never mind. Slowly you will figure out. Just like 2010, I talked to you about age lock, you don't understand also. So it doesn't matter, you just need to. Their products experiences. We want each affiliates can build the business easier through the platform. Okay, so basically through the products and connected devices that we have, right? And social commerce and digital experience. So it's the same thing like what I mentioned earlier on. Okay, what are the tools is available? So some of the tools, the apps is coming up, right? Basically, Stella and Vera, you're able to start to download right now, right? Early June, why we have urgency to share with you this after this month. Early June, right? You can start to attend some of the workshop, right? We have training workshop, for next month, next month, right? Talk to the people, the friends that that bring you over here, right? You can actually start to attend the workshop, right? To learn about the Stella and the Vera, application of it, right? New Skin Connect is like CRM. We talk a lot about CRM and the biosphotonic scanner. Currently, when you're scanning people, right, you write a paper record, right? 30,000, 50,000. When all these things are connected to the apps, you have all the records. When was the last time they scanned? How much? And automatically your customers, right, will probably that they will prompt them to buy certain product to increase the antioxidants level without your explanation. It's damn powerful, right? Even you realize that sometimes you need to find some what do you call it? Probably you need to find some explanation, right? It's all inside, right? Whatever they recommend. So this is going to be very, very exciting. We are very excited because we realize all these are proven products, right? But become a connected devices through the apps. I think this is going to be very scary, right? Let me share with you again, right? So this is we are coming out on a Q3 and Q4. For those of you who went for Expo yesterday in Malaysia, in KL, some of you, I saw same thing, right? Same thing was posted on the Facebook. You experienced that? Lucky, oh, so good. I thought that because some of them in team building trip, the experience I saw already, then I salivate, right? I think that is coming. It's coming. So first product you can experience what the IoT means, right? What the connected devices experience means, right? You can try to grab that. I'm not sure whether it's because I know that the stock is not a lot during our pre-launch. So, but anyway, this is the first product that we're going to introduce, right? We call it the LumiSpa IO, right? Just like a Apple IO system. So it will prompt you whether certain part of the face you never use diligently. Interesting, huh? Right. So these are some of the things that we're trying to do. So with the apps, right? Basically, they can identify what you need. Very, very interesting. Okay. Next, we talk about a case study, right? That the proven success stories that's happening. Talk about Apple. I think many of us know about Apple, even though you're not an Apple user. But Apple has been a very successful company over the last 20 years. When Steve Jobs left, right, at one point of time, they were struggling. And after which you realize that when they came on board, right, and after which they're trying to restructure the business, the company, from 2020, if you look at the market cap itself, it was only $5 billion US dollars. 5 billion market cap is not big for a company, right? But over the last 20 years, they've grown from 5 billion to 2,000 billion. That means they grow 400 times. For some of you who buy stocks, Apple stocks, right? Over the last 20 years, you just keep, you realize that you're probably a millionaire, right? But in those days, you realize that not many people can identify that. They just thought, they look at this individual product like iPod, Apple computer, as an individual product, iPhone, right? They become so powerful today because they build up the whole ecosystem to connect all the devices, right? All the users together for better customer experience, right? So that is their model. The old model of moving product is that products go through channel or middleman, right? Then goes to the customers. After which they revamp, right? They're investing in establishing a bigger ecosystem that allows, right, the customers to have better experience of product through their connected devices. For example, in this case, they use iPhone to acquire you into the ecosystem, right? And after which you realize that, right, it's the higher chances for you to be able to buy iPad also. Right? I just bought a couple of months ago, I just bought Apple Watch. Right? Then why? Because it's connected. It's all connected. So this is why they become very powerful. So you look at what we are trying to do in New Skin. It's the same. In fact, we have a better advantage. Why? Because the old Apple model, right? They don't go through people. Right? But in New Skin, it's easy for us to do it because all along they're going through people. right? But the personal means that individual, you, as a customer, use TNID, right? Then after which with the app is linked to all your social media, you can share your testimonials, the goodness. They were able to connect with your friends and people that you know, right? They probably want to buy the products from you also. So all these things we are doing right now to build the whole ecosystem so that it's easier for you to build a business in the future. In conclusion, if you don't understand, never mind, right? I give you a summary. It's not easy to understand, I know, right? Because it's a new concept altogether. But some of you think that I owe already, right? No, this is probably that I don't understand. Oh, already never mind, find young people. This is the beautiful part about this business, right? Some people say that I'm very stupid, like, stupid, never mind, I find smart people, right? This is the business of leverage, right? So you just need to connect with them. So with that being said, empower me, right? What we want to know is that what is our opportunity? Okay, I summarize in 3 parts. The first part, enhance customer experience. Right, through this platform, through this ecosystem, right, your customers to tend to be better experience, to be more sticky, right? Meaning that your business, your renewal will be stronger. And because of the AI assisted, right, the chances for your customers to cross-sell them, no need to cross-sell them, it's robot assisted cross-selling. I don't know whether when you do some shopping, right? You buy online. I think for these 2 years, we do a lot of online shopping, right? You buy, right? Related products, suggested product. This kind of, right? So you sell one Lumi Spa, suggested product, related product. Then you see, click, shopping cart. This is what we're going to do. So you will have a lot of accidental volumes. I never tell him, Last time in our business, you need to tell them, share, then you're able. These are some of the accidental volume that you don't tell them because the robot prompted them. The algorithm will prompt them, right? So very interesting. So this is going to enhance customer experience. That means that you have better volumes retention, right? With a better customers, why Apple is so successful? Not because they have a better phone. They have a better customer experience. Okay. The second one, enable customers and builders with advanced technology. So not only customers category today, right? With the ecosystem itself, right? We enable the customers to have advanced technology, but the builders also easier to build a business, right? So enable the customer through our technology platform, which is the whole digital ecosystem. The last one, enrich financial rewards for builders and leaders. This is the most important you need to remember. That's why it's highlighted. Right? Because the 2 part in front, right? The company did it for you. They did it for you already. And the last part, why are we different compared to Apple is because we have this social commerce that involve our affiliates program, our leadership program. That means they pay you money for referring, right? Not like Apple. So no matter how successful is Apple, you realize that we don't get to participate in the opportunity unless they buy the shares. But today in Empower Me, you realize that, right? If you see the vision, when you participate as a customers, and if you're aggressive becoming a builder to become a brand rep, right? Get yourself ready. If you are leaders, you're getting more aggressive to build more bigger network, you're going to be a biggest winner in the future, right? So this is in summary 3 things that I just want to share about the whole Empower Me. Okay. Well, so what is next? Some people are asking, what is next? So this sounds very interesting, right? What should I do right now? Very simple, right? Don't go back and try to become a scientist and try to find out, right, what is this all about? Because some of things that it takes a long period of time for you to understand about this concept. Because I read a lot about this kind of thing, right? Successful companies, case study, all these things I read so many years, so I can understand immediately. But for most people, normal people, you try to explain to them, similar, they don't understand. Right? To keep the things very simple, if you're excited about this vision, right, all you need to do is to start acquiring customers through whatever product offering you are familiar right now, whether it's TNIT, whatever you know, through that, right, build your customer network. Second thing, right, builders network. Some people, you realize that after today, they see the vision, right, they want to participate in the opportunity, they start to qualify to become a brand rep, right? They want to pursue the opportunity because they see the vision, right? Not about 1 month or 2 months, but I know that next 5 and 10 years is going to be very exciting. I want to participate right now. This is a ground floor opportunity right now. So I want to participate right now, right? So in fact, you realize that network is the king. So what you need to do right now is start to build your network. Convert the people that you know into your Empower Me platform network, right? Because if it's in your phone, it's not counted. But if it's in your Empower Me system, then you realize that all this, you can monetize it, right? So it's going to be very exciting. So through our leadership program, right, plus ST, the support, right, I think it's going to be very easy. Anyway, right, so where the money come from? The richest people, right, Robert Kiyosaki mentioned the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else look for work. So after you listen today, right, you get out of this room, you still go back to look for work, then pull lah. No, I say one, he say one. Right? Rich people build network. So you start to figure out, right? Whatever work you're doing right now, after you get out of this room, what are the choices that I could have made today? Given that this is a zero risk platform, right? What could I do today to participate in this opportunity to be able to build network for future? Right? So through the proven program that we have, we know that, right, you can build a consumer network and the builders network through this platform. Definitely that the future is bright, right? And the most important thing is that seeing from a lot of people before us, we've seen that, right, this is really a long-term business. But if you want to participate in the money game, we are not here. We are not money game, right? And we are not interested in the speculative investment, but rather you realize that we are building some real, genuine business for long term. So the future is definitely bright for those category of people. Okay. Last part, I think destiny, like what I say, right? Life is a matter of choices. And every choice makes you. Just like today, after you listen to this is the first preview I do. Next week, I'm going to do in Singapore. Right? So in fact, you realize that this is probably that in the whole world, because some of them are team military, they just came back. Right? I know some of them came back, also don't know, catch no ball, don't know where the ball go. The dribble cannot shoot the goal. Right? I already studied for a few months already, then summarize everything to let you understand. But if you still don't understand, then too bad already, because that's simplest already. So 10 years later, you cannot say that you do not know. How come Bojo? Right? Just like today, you say, wow, just how you say 2010, right? April is not ready. How come Bojo? True, right? If somebody show you the time, you can see the vision, your life probably a bit different, right? So really, right? Life's a matter of choices. And every choice you make, right, makes you. So what do you want to be for the next 3, 5, and 10 years down the road, right? I can say that we are gaining more clarity as a company expand the opportunity, but you cannot wait. Right? You cannot wait because you wait, right, until it's very clear already, the opportunity do not belong to you anymore. Okay? The last part, I think what's more exciting is not just about opportunity. What's more exciting is that can we do it? Right? If something is so big, so good, but we can't do it, then it's difficult. Just like some of the opportunity was so big, you realize you need to invest a lot of money, cannot. Right? What is exciting over here, you realize I love doing it. Until today, I'm still so passionate in sharing it because I realized that this platform, the success stories can be duplicated. That means you and me, right, as long as you're a human being, right, you're willing to be focused and devoted your time into this thing, right, with our training programs that we have in ST, right, you can also become successful. Earlier part, right, when we have all our leaders parade, as you can see, they came from all different backgrounds. Right, Ichiro, Botak Che. Right? Just a dancer. He also can do it. So all kinds of people, right? You realize that we have a proven method, proven way to help you, but you need to play your part. Right? We play our part, but you need to play your part. So we are very confident that our success can be duplicated, right? But the key thing is that you need to duplicate the program. The last part, right? Really welcome you guys, right, to the ST world. Really that, together, right, in this family, we have created so many success stories. I know in years to come, for the next 5 and 10 years, we will continue to create more success stories, not just in Malaysia, but in the whole region or even in the world with this empowerment. Right, with that, I want to close my sharing for today. See you in Singapore. Thank you. Score of excellent form, Mr. Rayne.
The circle of excellence for Mr. Rayne for his fantastic sharing. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's just as what Mr. Rayne has shared with us. This is indeed an opportunity of a lifetime that will change our future for 3 generations. Yes? Yeah, so make sure you remember to consult your friends who invited you here today on how to embark onto this journey of success together. And if you still feel like you don't know enough, don't worry, because upcoming we have an event that's called Life Transforming Summit, which happened on 18 and 19 June. Yes, so it is just as the name itself, it's called. It is an event that will transform your life forever. So ladies and gentlemen, here's a preview of our Life Transforming Summit. And the heroes behind the scenes, right? Thank you all for making our Millionaire Summit a successful one. And last but not least, the biggest round of applause to each and every one of you for attending our Millionaire Summit. Thank you all for coming. And with that, our Millionaire Summit has come to an end. My name is Jenny. Thank you very much. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in June. Thank you.